to find God. All devotees, regardless of church affiliation, race, or creed, must go within, must travel inwardly in inner space to find the presence of God. All must go that way. It cannot be known unless you go within. And the way, or the method of inward space travel, so to speak, is meditation, that's all. Meditation is the vehicle. Meditation means what? Concentration on God. Not through senses, mind, or intellect, or reason, but through the intuition of your own soul. And that comes by meditation. Meditation, so to speak, is the spaceship to travel in a space. Realize that. And right meditation means not only introspection. Introspection is the negative approach, so to speak. In introspection, you sit calmly and you look within, so to speak, and evaluate what you have done, say the last day or the last week or the last year or the last life even. But that's a negative approach to exploring inner space. The positive approach is to do something positive, to do pranayama. Yama means control of prana, or scientific meditation. That's the inner space boat of travel, so to speak. That is what we must do. Introspection is all right, but it's negative. The positive way to travel in inner space is through scientific meditation. Scientific meditation. And that is made up especially of Patanjali Yoga, of which I've spoken many times, with its 8-fold steps. I'll come to that in a minute, speaking about introspection. That's sort of a negative approach, as I have said. And the negative approach brings to my mind a little story of this minister's son. He was a very naughty little boy, and he did lots of things he shouldn't be doing. And so, to punish him, they wouldn't let him eat at the family table. They set a little table on one side. He sat there. And so when he sat down, his food was brought to him. Little fellow solemnly said, he says, "Lord, I thank thee. Thou preparest a table in the presence of mine enemies." So, that's a negative approach, isn't it? So, introspection is the negative approach. The positive thing is to do something definite and positive toward finding God, not just to think about it. Introspection is necessary, but it must be followed by that positive thing. And so, as we follow this positive state of exploring inner space, as we do that, then we will attain the presence of God. Attaining the presence of God, then we can merge along this, by following this common highway, in the supreme center of the holy mountain of God, in which resides the Son of Righteousness. That's the positive aspect. That's what we must do. And so, I was going to speak about the 8 steps of Patanjali Yoga just for a moment or two. First, we have the Nama, and Niyama. The do's and the don'ts, that's all. You must live a good life. You must not steal, and things like that. We all know those moral conditions. Those constitute the first 2 steps. The second is asana, posture. If you meditate, you cannot be slumped over. As I pointed out this morning, we must sit in the right posture. Very important. Very important are these postures, so that the spine be open, that we may travel the royal highway to the summit of the holy mountain or the presence of God's consciousness within us. Those are the first 3. The next one is pranayama. Pranayama, very important. Every technique of self-realization fellowship is an exercise of pranayama, control of life force, pranayama. And the greatest of that pranayama is Kriya Yoga. Kriya Yoga is the fastest accelerator known to man, to take him to the summit of the holy mountain within and to allow him to merge through God's grace in his holy presence. Next comes pratyahara, which means interiorization. As you meditate, you know your consciousness is withdrawn from outward things and goes inward toward the spine and toward the holy mountain. That's called interiorization, or pratyahara is the Sanskrit word. Then the last three steps are very important. You cannot follow those last three steps unless you have got interiorization. In other words, you cannot concentrate. Nirvana is the next step. You cannot concentrate unless you're interiorized. With your attention outward, can you concentrate inside and explore inner space? No. Then the seventh is nouemena, which means meditation. And the final one is samadhi. So there you have the 8 steps taken of Patanjali Yoga as you travel in inner space. I have a reference from a master which I might give you at this time, which is very apropos. And as I have said, as you travel in a space, you will know you're in the presence of God. You will know, so to speak, you are at the base of that holy mountain of God's presence when you hear the cosmic sound of Om. Understand that. And that means when you hear the cosmic sound of Om, or when you see the light at the Christ Center, or when, greatest of all, you feel the bliss of God, you're in His presence. You have explored inner space to the extent that you are at the base of the epitome of your exploration, the holy mountain of God. You will know that by the cosmic sound which you feel and hear. Realize that in your meditation when you hear that cosmic sound, see the cosmic light at this point, feel the love of God, you're in His presence. You have gone a long ways, but you must not stop there. But it is the presence of God. Patanjali says this wonderful thing. Patanjali speaks of God as the actual cosmic sound of Om that is heard in meditation.